J'espère que ça marche. Hello, Stitch lover! Hi! Hello, people! Hello! I am almost ready. I just need to fix the lamp, get something to drink, and then we're gonna paint. Can anybody? I think it's working based on my webcam. Yes, I think the sound is okay. I don't have any double sound or something. I think it's good. Hey you, hey Stitch lover, hi people, hello everybody. I'm gonna share the link on my Facebook page so people can join, and we'll just get started. I just have to figure out a few things first. I can now read the reverse. Search. Only found one. So let's just post quickly that I'm streaming this painting, not on Instagram, just on Facebook. I'm looking for the thumbnail. Where is my thumbnail for the stream? I am so not prepared. I'm not prepared. I am not prepared. Sorry guys, hang on. Where is the picture for the stream? Well, that's bad. I'm just gonna post this. I'm finishing this girl on stream tonight. Right now, not tonight, right now. Check it out. Publish. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm wondering if we're gonna have more people for this stream than the last one, because my last video had a bit more view than usual, so maybe people are coming tonight. we'll see. I usually don't have a lot. Last time I streamed, I had like 10 people, but it doesn't really matter as long as anyone is watching. I'm glad, and I'm just gonna go straight into it. Hi guys, hello, welcome. If you're new here, hello, my name is Emily and I go by Sakuems online. Tonight we're gonna stream on YouTube, and I'm gonna try and attempt to finish this artwork. It is long due. Usually I don't have like deadlines to release my work, but this is for Patreon rewards, and I swear I've been working like on this for like 20 plus hours and it's still not done. I'm getting there. I really like the rendering on like the background and the butterflies and all. I'm really happy with the face. Not a huge fan of the style of the hair, but because I did it that way I have to replicate that. I'm still trying to find my best style, I guess. So Saru, hello, beautiful, thank you so much. Yeah, in terms of the style of the hair and everything, I'm not huge fan. I think it's a bit too polished. It looks nice, but it's not necessarily the style that I want to replicate in all of my artworks. But I need to finish this because, well, first of all, it's due for rewards. Second of all, I really would like to work on other things because I am getting a little bit bored with this one because I'm using very small brushes. It takes a lot of time, and I would really like just to start something else, work bigger, work more freely. If we have time, or if I just am so done with this, we might switch to maybe sketching some things. I have this Nerdforge sketchbook right here. I might have to do like a spread of some sort. I've been working on different pages. We have like this in the making, like some random strawberries. I'm trying to loosen up a bit, not worry too much about the outcome. Have this also in the making with some gouache and little pencils. I really like that. We have then this spread that I'm working. This is an oldish sketch. I did that, I think, 2 months ago or something. And I'm trying to work on, you know, adding stuff. We have like some mountains here. I'm making progress. I'm using mainly pencils and gouache in this. I would like to use markers, but the markers bleed through the paper. So if I use marker, I have to probably use gouache behind it because, for example, like the green here is showing here. So we have another spread. I've used some like tape to cover some of the pages, and then I'm working on like a landscape of like a city scene, which I never do that. Then we have a landscape. I saw this like tunnel thing in the mountain this morning when I was coming back home, and so I was inspired by that, and I made like a little landscape. And this mountain here is one that I see from my not my window directly, but it's a pretty famous mountain here, and so I just wanted to have fun. Sceneries like those, like landscape, is kind of hard because there's a lot of greens and stuff and lots of random foliage and random trees. So I don't know how I'm going to color that. I've implemented a lake. Maybe I'll just work on this. And I think we have then another page from like a random sketch that I actually cut out from the beginning of this book right here, because it was pretty loose because I've cut out a page before. So I removed that page and I actually just stuck that on the rest. And then that's it. There's nothing else because it's a pretty new one. It's a new book, and I did a cover like the first page. Sketchbook started on the 26th, so just yesterday, and I did a few pages. Technically, I started working on that long, I don't know, weeks ago, months ago, I don't even remember. But I haven't really did anything besides like one background and two background. That's about it. And like, so I've decided just to count this as being kind of new, but I really want to just loosen up and have fun with more like concept art, because this is taking way too long. I want to be a bit more free and have fun in the next part of this stream. So I think the plan today, we might just have to finish the hair, and we'll see where we are in terms of the schedule, because I can stream until like 11-ish p.m. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, I'm just gonna go and go straight into it. I might have to move my webcam. I don't have like the best setup for streaming. I will try to stream with my phone in the future, but for now I'm just gonna have to deal with what I have in terms of tools. But I hope that it's good enough in terms of quality. It's a little bit blurry, so I had to tweak the settings so I can have it more sharp. And in terms of the light source, and the light that I have here is not like super nice. I don't have a lot of light. I can't do a lot more because I can't angle down my lights properly because of the screen. So I'm gonna try to move that slightly more. Hang on. I'm gonna move to the side. I think it's okay. It's just the way it is. I can't put the light closer because I'm gonna knock myself out with the light if I do that. So we're just gonna go with this. So as you can see right now, I have done mostly the under layers of like the shadows. I have done like a lot of contouring. I still need to enhance some of that. And gouache is pretty matte. It's completely matte. So in order to get really dark details, like I did for her eyes, for example, this is done with black and it's actual pencils. If I use the gouache, I don't have the same, what is it called? I guess the pencils tends to be a bit darker and have a bit of gloss to it. And but so it reflects a bit of the light back, but the gouache is pretty matte. So I would like it for it to be slightly less matte, but also just slightly darker. And yeah, so I still had a lot of highlights to do on this side. This trend is pretty, you know. And then on the bottom, I can show you that quickly if I just move. Okay, so this is how the bottom is looking so far. I did the basically the background layers. I did pretty dark because I'm gonna come on top with more greens and like light blue, so I can add a bit more like foliage of some sort, just work on the flowers and make everything, of course, a lot lighter. This is pretty dark. I wasn't really supposed to have this much in the background. I just I feel like it doesn't look really, I might have to crop that in the actual artwork, because I'm not a huge fan of how it looks. I feel like the character itself is enough as it is, and that the bottom layers aren't doing anything for this artwork. So I didn't really plan the concept art. I was doing it pretty random, so I didn't really make a decision beforehand of like what I would make in the background and what I would make in the bottom. And so I don't know, we'll see how it goes once it's shaded properly and has highlights. What I think about it, I might crop, I might just crop that, you know, just the complete bottom, and because I can't really bring back any kind of light, because now it's pretty dark, so I can't really just do a lot more besides adding some like teal, turquoise, and some greens. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But for now, I'm just gonna stick to finishing the hair. We're gonna work on this section and do also the details on the butterflies and the flowers, quite important. And we'll see what I do with this part. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, also side note, it is pretty hot in my place right now, so I might have to take a few breaks. And second thing, there's a storm, and if I just for some reason disappear from YouTube suddenly, it's because the computer crashed because of the storm. It should be okay, but if it's loud and if I disappear, that's probably why. So we're gonna go and start painting. I may have to reactivate some of the colors. This is the palette that I'm using, pre-mixed a lot of different colors. For the hair, we have this very dark brownish purple, and then we have all of my shades for the colors of the hair itself. So my main one is this off coppery, reddish copper tone. One is a bit lighter here, and then this one is darker. And my highlights are here, and this one, not a lot of that because I don't really like, I don't know, the yellowish popping out tends to make her blonde looking with very copper shadows, and so I wanted to have like copper hair, but it's pretty hard to shade without it looking blondish then in the highlights. So I might have to come back maybe with some pencils, just add a bit of warmth to it, and not wash her out because she looks blonde here, not ginger. So we have those as main colors. I didn't want to use actual like orange tones. This is still a muted palette, and there's a lot of greens and desaturated colors. I don't have anything really bright besides the lips being pretty red, but it's still like a muted red, unless it's like here it's pretty red, but the rest is muted. And yeah, there's a lot of brownish muted colors, so I wanted to keep that. That's why I have those off. Like, they're not like super saturated compared to this color, for example, which is pretty intense. This is more muted. So I'm gonna go grab a drink and then we'll just get started. Okie dokie. Okay, in terms of brushes, I'm using a lot of tiny ones for details. Right now I'm mainly working, I mean, I have doubles of everything. I'm mainly using those two. This one is pretty fine for details, but for now I'm sticking to this this small one because I don't want my hair strands to be too small because they will take forever, first of all. And hang on, I have to change the music station. I'm checking live music on YouTube, but it's going to destroy my connection. We're just gonna go with some relaxing, like fantasy music that is not live broadcasting because okay. So, hang on a minute, just think of what's missing. Maybe just something a bit darker. I have to reactivate some of the colors. So we're gonna do that quickly. I'm using gouache, so that's why it tends to, of course, being. I worked on this artwork today, and I'm working on it tonight. I don't think I can finish it tonight. I will finish it tomorrow morning, just because there's still a lot of work. I might just decide to crop the bottom, just to reduce the work, the workload, or fix some of it. I don't know. I really like how it looks from up here. Like, I don't really like the bottom part, and so I don't know. I'll just figure something out when once I'm done with the hair. So for now, I'm just grabbing a little bit of a darker purplish red, and we're just gonna still like keep on working on making the contour for everything. I'm sorry if I'm blocking everything with my hand. I don't understand how light works. My scene is pretty lit from this angle, so it shouldn't cast a shadow. But if I turn this other light off, you don't really see much. So I need this second light. I would need like a ring light on the bottom, but the thing is though, I can't bring the light closer. I mean, I can technically. I'm gonna try. Hang on. I don't like that it's casting a shadow, but it's not the easiest to do to like manage light sources. I'm gonna try to bring that closer, and we'll see. Is this better? There's still a shadow, but it's slightly better. So thing is, it is casting a pretty bad light on my actual artwork, so I don't really see what I'm doing. I'm really sorry. I might also just zone out and not talk too much while I am painting, because it's a little bit harder to do. I have to move the light back. I don't see shit. I don't see what I'm doing. I need to be like this. So are you, is anyone actually, oh, hang on, chat. The chat, I have to put it up. So if anyone is here, you know, wanted to chat and do, you know, ask any question, things like that, tell me about your day, tell me about like your own artwork, if you are an artist yourself, you know, things like that. I would love to know more about you guys. I know a lot of my like strong supporter who have been here for like a long time. They are also artists, and I really like when they share their work and they talk about their own artwork. I have to be very careful here. I don't want to mess this up. I'm just putting back darker shades, and then I will bring back highlights after. So for now, I'm just gonna go. I need to come back on this because the layers were kind of muddy. So I'm trying to fix that basically. It's adding work to redo some of it, but it's fine. It's okay, the setup is pretty good already. Oh, thank you for telling me that, Sour Saru. If it looks okay and you can still see what I'm doing, that's cool. I would really like to finish this tonight, but I think it's a bit too much. You know what I don't, what I would like to get in my work, I don't have any specific example in mind, but I don't like when it's too polished like this. I want it to be a bit more realistic in a way, and having more randomness to it, not just drawing each strand. I still have to practice with that. And I like the, hang on, oh my god, I made a mess. I like the top section here. It's a little bit more rough compared to this, for example. I like it, but it's not exactly the style that I want to keep in the future. But it's a nice way to experiment. I think it's pretty important to just try things out. Lately, I've been trying really to experiment with different rendering and texture and style, using different tools that I usually don't use. And it's just the best way to figure out your style. And I'm taking inspiration from various artists just to see what I like in what they're doing, what I don't like, what I would prefer myself doing, you know, and mixing that with basically your style is a mixture of what you like yourself, the way you do things, and what you appreciate amongst other artists. And right now I am really into Gretel Lusky. She released an art book which I am waiting to get in French. I could get the English copy, but it's a bit more pricey because I have to import that, and so I'm waiting for the French issue. It actually has been released today, but I think I'm going to get that from the bookstore and not like online. So maybe next month or something. I'm pretty short on money, so I can't really get a new art book right now, but I will definitely get the book. I really like the way she works with her sketches. They're pretty loose and expressive, and she has a lot of colors popping out, a lot of textures. I feel like she's a lot more free than I am in her concept art, and this is something that I really want to work on. Just be more free and not worry too much about the outcome, and trust myself and trust the process, you know, and see where things lead me. So that's also why I want to get done with this artwork, because I would like to work more on concept art and figure out a more looser style. And the best way to do that is just to do that in a sketchbook and practice something a bit more loose, and then implement that technique working at a larger scale. Next time I will stream, I will probably just try like a randomizer kind of deal. I want to work more on random topics, not necessarily random topics. I want to make like a giant bucket of some sort with little paper strip, and have any suggestions, like any ideas, you know, like animals or landscape or style or color choices, and just pick out like 3 random little papers and then base a sketchbook spread or an artwork on that. I also want to try the limited palette challenge, like the Zorn palette, or just any kind of color palette that is mainly just like a dark, a medium, and a light color. Like for example, the way I worked on the last spread, like this one, and this is like a primary contrast kind of palette because I'm using yellow, magenta, and cyan, but there's also a bit of green and like dark blue, and I would really like to work with a limited palette that basically is just like this ultramarine blue, a pretty neon pink, and then a yellow, like 3 colors, and that's it. And just try to figure out all the colors that I can get, because for example this brings out purples, and then I can have more like skin earth, not earth tone, but like skin tone with like those muted pinkish yellowish colors. But I can also do greens if I mixed the yellow with the blue. Having a contrast of primaries in your artwork will basically allow you to have pretty much every color. So that's an interesting palette, but I also really like what I don't know where it is, but I really like, if I were to work more with muted shades, maybe I can just try to force myself to work with only red tones. I can do like a very dark, like a dark blue, a red, and yellow, basically, just like the Zorn palette, and see where this leads me. And by doing limited palettes, you kind of have less worry to have about your colors because you already have your basic shades ready and you can just have fun playing around those. Technically speaking, in this I had a limited palette, but then I incorporated some random shades here and there, but it is mainly reddish browns and then very cool like warm blues basically with the yellow in between. And there's a tiny bit of purple for the flowers and tiny drop of pink, but not much actually. And I really like limiting myself in that sense. I feel like it brings something very cohesive to the piece, so that's kind of why. But hopefully we can do that kind of challenge in the next videos or something. I would really like to have a bit more fun, you know, in that sense, and challenge myself also in making things different. And so what I'm going to do on this is probably add a bit more definition on this strand that is pretty red for now. Then I also have to work on the bottom section, but I will do that last. I want to move the camera down. We're just going to stick to this section here and bring more highlights like I did here, but I think there's a bit too much highlights here, so we're gonna be a bit more careful. I want to try something. Hang on. I don't have a lot of pencils for cooperation. I have this color, but it's more pink, and this is a very deep orange. I'm gonna try to see. This is really light. I think I might need to use gouache again. I guess if I am very subtle, I can bring back some orange tones, but it's not exactly the shade that I want. Maybe like some maple. Hang on. I have too many pencils, way too many. In terms of my, I think maybe the polychromos would be better. Like cinnamon, not there, not there. We have this very red. Red would be interesting because the lips are red, so I could bring back some of that. But then we have some orange tones. This is also acting kind of like a copper tone-ish. I'm gonna just like pull out a lot of different shades. And in the Prismacolors and the luminance, I don't think I have exactly the shade that I'm looking for. This is way too yellow. I have brown, but I don't need brown. It's pretty hard to match exactly the shade that you would like. I would say, based on what I'm looking at, maybe this. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna try. Thing is, it is creating more contrast. I don't want more contrast, I just want it to be darker. So if I need this to be darker and slightly warmer, that means bringing back not pencils for now, but just my bigger brush here and work with this. I think it's just a matter of fact, I think it's just that I need to have less highlights and bring back my bring back some of that warmth and then do less highlights, because right now it's a bit too blondish for me. So I'm gonna quickly mix a few of those and try to get it slightly darker just in some places, because I feel like it's just too much. I can always bring back the light. I have to be very careful right now because there's a lot of layers, like really a lot of layers. I don't even remember how much. Seriously, there's so much. I like it a lot more. I think it was too light. And I wouldn't mind it being slightly warmer or like more saturated. But I don't really have it mixed yet, so I'm gonna try to just add a bit of warmth. You can't really see that with the glare, but hang on. How can I show you that without the glare? I'm just adding a bit more red to the hair and mixing that in just to see if it lacks some warmth. I think it would be interesting to add a bit more saturation, so it brings the warmth of the lips back into her hair. So I'm just adding work to myself, I'm just adding to my workload by adding more warmth, but that's fine. I mean, I already have worked so much on this that I don't really mind. And I think it has something kind of nice. You can't really see that. You're gonna have to wait for it to dry because of the angle of the light. I can do that on a different part of the drawing so you can understand a bit more of what I'm doing. But now I'm just like quickly mixing a bit of a deeper red, I guess. It has more saturation to it. I can't really work on that right now because I have to lay my hand on the artwork, but I can work on the top section, so I can show you what I mean by adding more warmth. Okay. Like here is pretty muted, so I'm gonna try to add a bit more warm colors. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. I think even more red, so it really just shows that it is actually more red. I basically want it to be slightly more saturated. There's not as much contrast on the actual artwork. It really is quite enhanced on the screen, but it's not as intense. I think the camera is washing it off in between layers of colors. It's not that drastic. There's a lot in between colors that you don't really see. And I'm gonna mix things so I can blend that out. Not going to keep it like this. There's a lot of there's too much difference. I'm gonna gradually fade that out. Don't worry. And I don't really mind it, like if it's pretty high contrast. It actually is better because it gives it more painterly. Look, oh my god, hello, local hobo, hi, welcome, welcome, thanks for joining. There's 8 people watching. I love you guys. Can we get this stream to like, I don't know, 15 people? That would be amazing. Last time we had a peak at like 11 and I would be so down. Be happy. Yes, we have to try our best to remain happy. So it's easier when you're feeling down to remember that your body and your mind is familiar with the feeling of happiness. When you feel a lot of joy, sometimes when I feel really like a lot of joy, I try to really suck it in and sink in, like really feel it to the highest I can. Feel it so I can remember that sense of bliss. So whenever I'm feeling down, I remember that I can feel also better and feel like joy. So happy to see you live again. Yay! I'm so happy to have you back too. I am so happy to be back. I'm so happy. I couldn't stream for a long time because I had crappy internet. And then I got good internet maybe like a year-ish ago. And I just had to figure out a way to book a night or so, you know, every week so I can do my streaming. And I also was kind of like, when should I stream? Because a lot of my audience is overseas and like a lot of people are in the US and they can't really see me if they're working in a weekday. But I have decided that I will not stream on weekends. My weekends are off, you know, I'm with my partner or friends or family, and I don't want to stream until like 4 in the morning, you know. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do my thing, stream at night for me, until like midnight-ish, and that's it. People can just join if they can, or they can just rewatch the stream later if they missed it. But I'm not going to stream at like random hours. So once I've decided that I will be streaming just basically for Europe and France, then I was like, okay, that actually works. I'm really happy. I can stream like from 9-ish to 11 or / midnight. It would be even better for me to stream during the day so I can have actual natural light. But there's not a lot of people who are able to watch me during the day, or it would have to be like a Sunday stream or something. Maybe in the future, depending on how my life is going, if I can stream on a Saturday afternoon or something, if my boyfriend is busy doing something else or you know, maybe I can do that. But for now, I would like to remain free on weekends. Hang on, I have to be very careful. I don't want to mess this up. I need to add more darker strand on this. So that's why I'm finally able to stream. I fixed out the schedule and I have a better internet. So that works. So yeah, I'm live again and thank you for joining. I'm hungry. Why am I hungry again? I literally ate at like 4 p.m. I mean, I ate at 4 p.m. and it's 10 p.m. So of course I'm hungry. I mean, it's a good thing. I'm trying my best to listen to hunger cues and respect those. So being hungry is actually a good thing. Anyway, what do we think about adding more warmth? I like it, but that means I have to do that on the entire hair. Like, remind me, guys, to never do long hair again on a painting. Why? She's literally like a lion. She has so much hair. So much hair. Why did I put myself in this? Why? I've decided to add more red and I like it, so now I have to do it everywhere. It's fine. Everything's fine. Looks really nice. Technically I could do that with a pencil, but I'm not gonna have the same effect. So I don't know. Should I do that with a pencil and not... I mean, the thing is, this is too red. What I like about gouache is I can have exactly the tone that I want. Hello, Marisol Castillo. Marisol Castillo. Hi, welcome. I'm so happy. People are talking in the chat. Yay! I need some interaction or some sort. I really like to be able to exchange with you guys, talk about my work or your work, you know. Hang on, I need to be very careful with this. I'm using very tiny brushes and tiny strokes because I don't want to mess this up, even if it takes me forever to do. I could do a very French accent for those of you who don't know. I am French and I speak very good English. Je peux même parler français s'il y a des francophones. Bonjour, bienvenue. Ça me manque de streamer en français. Je pense que je vais essayer de faire un stream français aussi tous les mois parce que c'est vraiment pas pareil pour le coup. I will probably have to figure out a way to incorporate also like a French speaking stream, just because I am French and I would really appreciate to exchange with people, you know, who are also French. I know what I'm missing in my colors right now. I need like, I don't know what I need, but I need it. I don't want it to be orange. I just want a bit more saturation in what I'm doing. But, I mean, what I did on the cheeks, you can see there's a bit more orange tones here. And I think that would look nice. But that's not like too hard to do if I'm adding back. Just this. This is too dark. This is too dark. It is too dark. What did I use here? Hang on, I'm trying to figure out what kind of pencil that was. Maybe this? This is too pink. I need a different color. I don't think I have that the shade that I really want. I don't think I have it. Or maybe it's somewhere else, because I'm quite positive that I have a color similar to what I want. Like a muted orange copper tone. But I need it to be kind of creamy, not dry like the polychromos. I'm just gonna play with the pencils just to add a bit more warmth here and there. I mean, I don't know, might as well just have fun right now and just like try to incorporate, you know, a bit more color. What I would need is a glaze all over the hair, like to be able to put a filter, like a glaze, and make it slightly more orange and copper and not muted reddish tone like this. But I would need to redo the entire hair, which I'm not going to do. So we're just gonna play along with like this orangey pencil. I could try to do like a watercolor glaze, but I think it's going to mess up the entire piece. So I'm not gonna do that. No. I'm just gonna quickly add some orangey tones here and there, and I think that will do the trick. So this is a bit better. Now I can bring some of the lights back using this slight like light orange that I have here. I'm very gentle right now. So I have to be very careful with the way I place the brush. One wrong move and I have to redo every strand. I mean, nobody's gonna be like, oh my god, you didn't place that hair strand in the right position. No, nobody's gonna say that. I am going to say that myself, because I know that I messed up that line. And I want specifically this piece. We'll see how that goes, but I want this piece to be featured as a diamond. What's a diamond? As a diamond painting. And so I want a very high resolution and a lot of details, so it shows well in a diamond painting, and that works best with very highly detailed artwork, in my opinion. So that's why I'm doing it. Doesn't mean it's going to be picked out for diamond painting, because there's a voting system, but at least I'm doing my best. My best shot basically at making it available. I believe that people will really like it if it's well done. Although it's pretty subjective, but I really like having more red, but oh gosh, there's a lot of work. It's fine. It's completely fine. I mean, it's fine. We're just gonna go for it. You know, just pop some red tones everywhere. It looks better that way. It's not like taking hours. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I like that word. It's okay, you know. It does add something really nice to the piece. So I'm just gonna, you know, stick with it. And I need more water. It's way too thick to do what I want. I hope you don't mind the music. I really can't paint in like complete silence. And I can't just keep on talking forever. Oh, hello guys! Hello Pachu! You have such lovely vibes. Oh, thank you! Love you. Really appreciate. Eddie Sakuems. Hi Sakuems. Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome. I'm happy to have people over. I'm happy you are chatting and all. Yay! You know, talk to people. You can totally chat between you guys as well. Like there's so little people that you are free to just chat and enjoy, you know, the time being here, because there's no slow mode, there's no moderator, nothing is restricted. You can just, you know, chat about anything really. No censoring. I mean, don't be rude to people. But besides that, you know. Again, I said that again, but I'm saying it again. I am hungry and I don't understand why. I guess my body has decided that today. And usually I'm not that hungry at night, so I think I'm gonna have to grab something to eat. I don't want to do like something crazy because it's pretty late already, so, but still I will probably have a break in like 15 minutes ish, so I can prepare just some snacks. Yeah, I like having more red. I don't need that everywhere, but I do like it. Having a bit more saturation. I could do even more, but I can do that with the pencil. What medium are you using? This is entirely, I mean, not entirely. Hang on. This is mainly gouache. Basically here. Like thick watercolor-ish colors. I really like gouache because it's never really drying. You can just reactivate that and do mixing forever almost. So this is gouache, and the face was done with gouache as a base, with the watercolors as a base layer, and all the shading is done with the pencils, because I find it really way too hard to shade faces with gouache. So that's why I've used pencil, but the rest is done with gouache, and right now I am using gouache. Okay, now let's switch to this side again in adding more of the red tones, because I really like it. So my red is basically slightly more saturated than the base color, but it's not darker than my darkest shade. And I might have to enhance the saturation for the darker shade, because then there's too much contrast if I don't do that. For now, I'm just gonna add a bit more red here and there. I don't really think too much about, hang on, I'm gonna switch the angle slightly so you can see what I'm doing. I can do that. Hang on. I'm just gonna move the camera slightly, like so, so you can see a bit better. It should be slightly angled, so it's slightly better for you. So yes, gouache and tiny brushes. Yes, skill, it's beautiful. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. I mean, I'm happy that it looks nice because I've spent like 25 hours on this. I'm this is so much work, but I like it. I think it is one of my best artwork in terms of not necessarily the concept, because it's pretty basic, like it's a portrait, you know, with butterflies, but the rendering of this is my best work so far. I really like it. I'm hungry. I'm sorry, you guys. I think I am getting slightly disoriented. The ADHD, it's just like, is kicking in because I am trying to work on this and being focused, but I want to eat so much right now. I want to go grab something to eat and resume after. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to stop for a bit and grab something. Yeah, let's just grab some food. And I don't have any note that says on my way to eat something. I'm so unprepared for streaming, you guys. The things I do. Nom nom nom. I am back with some food. Pretty random. I'm having like a wrap with some cheese and salmon and a banana. 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 Thank you guys. Thank goodness I feel that urge. When you're hungry, you gotta eat. Yep. I wonder, like, guys, where do you come from? Where is everybody? I am in France. I mean, I could be French and just live in Canada or something, but I am actually in France. Ah ouais, il a raison mon copain. Il n'a pas le C, le break. Je me disais aussi, c'est bizarre. When I wrote this down, I was like, looks odd. You're from Finland. Oh, nice. What time is it in Finland? Is it later or like? Hello, Krista Robinson. Welcome. I'm doing okay, thank you for asking. Hang on, I'm chewing stuff. I'm doing okay, thank you. A bit tired. I had to take like a quick nap before streaming because I was so tired. Didn't sleep pretty well last night, and I spent already like 4 hours on this painting today. So because I knew that I would have to paint again tonight, I just had a quick break, saw a friend, and then I had to sleep, just like do a quick nap because there was no way in hell that I will be able to stream until like midnight or something today, you know. But I'm doing okay. I just have to keep on being busy and create content and hope for the best. Yeah, truth being told, I'm still like struggling financially, but hopefully everything that I'm working on will pay off in some way. So yeah, it's half an hour to, oh, it's, yeah, so it's a lot. Oh, it's actually quite later than here in France. It's 10:30 right now. Good to, any tips for watercolors? Watercolors are the devil. I'm just kidding. I feel like when I discovered watercolors, I was like 16 in school, and I've never really tried working with those before and was completely new to it. And I was using it as I was using other tools like pencils or markers and things like that, but they don't really work that way. My colors weren't really mixing properly because I wasn't using enough water. I didn't really keep in, I was trying to do like all in one layer, and that's not how they work. Watercolors are transparent, The more water you add to it, the more transparent it is. If you have less water, it's pretty opaque. So my biggest tip would be to work in layers. You have to work with a wash, like lighter, like more water at your in your first layers. You're gonna have more water, and then wait, like place as much as you want, as many colors as you'd like, so they kind of fuse together. And the way it works, basically everywhere you put water, the color will find a way to reach out that part of your painting. If you want anywhere in your artwork to remain free of pigment, you have to also remain it free from water. It has to be dry. If it's not dry, if it's wet, the water will just do its job and it's going to move all the pigments and go everywhere basically. Every time I use watercolor as a base, it's what's always like drifting and spreading more than what I originally wanted to. So just take your time and build layers. Like, it depends on the art style that you're going for, but I usually just have like a random kind of all-in-one first layer, placing some colors, keeping some parts with more whites popping from the actual background, the white of the paper. I'm trying to keep that, but then it's a matter of like building the opacity. But I don't do a lot of 100% watercolor artwork. I tend to switch to like markers or pencils or gouache, because I feel like watercolors is not super forgiving sometimes. But yeah, I would like, there's so many different tips I could give really, but what I've learned the most is watercolor is more a game of like how to handle the water than the colors. If you find a way to control the water, it's going to be way easier to do anything really. I feel like it's just the most challenging medium, with like watercolors and pastels are just like the hardest to master in my opinion. But some people might say that gouache and acrylics is harder. Acrylics are annoying because they dry too quickly. Hang on, sorry, I make everything shaking. Yeah, that's also quite true. Whenever I work on a piece, I try to do the biggest rendering for like the background and like the basic effects with my first layer being wet and remaining wet. But then you're gonna have to find a way to stop at some point, because it's moving so much. As it's drying, it's gonna change almost completely. The colors will mix together, it can become muddy, so you have to be very careful. Usually when I work with watercolors as a base, I try to stay away from mixing too many colors. I would stick to maybe like 2 or 3 and like in the same color family. Like if I were to do like a wash, like a first background thing, I might just use some like dark blue and purple, or like pink, and that's it. And I'm trying to remain like kind of loose on the pigment. And once it's drying slightly, I would maybe try to incorporate more pigmented, still washed out like with water, like still diluted with water, but a bit more intense and pigmented colors. But I'm picking the same one. If I'm doing like a wash, like a first layer with random like blues and pinks, I'm gonna have like maybe a lighter diluted blue, and I'm gonna pick the exact same color but less water and just keep on building on that. And then you're gonna have to wait for the layer to dry completely before assessing like, okay, where should I enhance this, where should I enhance that, do I need to bring back some of the light. I'm doing a lot of portraits, so usually when I work with backgrounds and first layers, I try to keep a part of the piece kind of light or almost white, so I know I can place a character on that. But if I have already sketched out something, I'm still keeping that in mind to basically not have anything on the face, because it's pretty hard to get too dark easily. Like it's pretty hard. No, it's pretty easy to get too dark on a piece, and bringing back light is harder to do. You can do that with gouache, but it tends to be grayish looking, and even pencils or any kind of tool that you bring on top will have a gray cast. So I try to be very careful with my base layer on any skin tones or anything like that. For her, for example, for this artwork, I believe that this the face remained almost entirely white, because I needed that to keep her really in focus and pretty bright. And in the end, if I were to use too many colors, I would have like her being pretty much a lot darker, which was okay, but I wanted a pale ginger girl, so that's why I tried my best to do that. But there's a lot of different layers in this piece. There's too many layers, so at some point it's gonna be hard to blend, but gouache is pretty forgiving with that. You can add a lot of layers. I think there's like 10 layers in some places, and it's okay. It works. With watercolors, at some point you're gonna have to build the opacity, so you can't do a lot more, but you can incorporate pencils. So that I like that. Pencils and gouache, they do work, but they don't handle it too much because they will sit on top, so the texture might be messed up at some point. You can have like 1 or 2 layers of pencils on top, just adding a bit of shading, but you can't do it much more basically. But I really like the look of gouache as well. So yeah, those are my 2 cents on watercolors. I could do like an actual demo, like work on a new piece at some point and just like do the entire process. That would be interesting. But yeah. Alors, gouache are my gouache are my fave to work with. I love how you can reactivate them and mix consistencies. I like using them more like acrylics. But beginning with watercolor like gouaches. Yeah, that's pretty much what gouache is to me. You can have the ability of watercolors because you can wash them out, and they basically act as watercolors because you can use water to dilute them, and they reactivate quite easily. Technically, watercolors don't reactivate that much. You can if it's quite of an intense pigment, like if it's thicker, you can just put more water to it and reactivate that. But gouache is pretty versatile in regards to that. But it also can, because it's pretty opaque easily, you can build the texture and with like you would do with acrylics without having to worry about it drying too quickly. Technically they sometimes dry a bit too quickly, but I know that I can easily just reactivate the layers that I've just done. If I were to do that with acrylics, like the actual rendering that I have right here on this piece, with acrylics I would be so mad about it really fast, because the colors dry so fast and you can't reactivate those. If the acrylics are dry, it's done. And not just on the painting but also on your actual palettes. What I like about gouache is that this is reusable forever. Even on like dryish or even dry gouache can be reactivated. I'm just adding like 3 drops, like a teaspoon of water. I let it marinate for like an hour, and I can just come and blend that out. Sometimes I have to put back extra pigment or a bit of white to bring back some of the thickness, but usually they can be reactivated for a long time. So really like that, and that's why I don't really use acrylics anymore. What I would like to do though is using acrylics as a base for like basic shading, maybe work with muted colors, and then use oil on top of that to glaze the colors and build like the shading, because I could take my time with that. And you're gonna have like an underpainting that is completely dry and permanent. So maybe one day I will try to work back with acrylics. I actually have a painting almost finished that I started with acrylics, and then I wanted to work with gouache on top, and it messed up it completely. Like, it looks so bad, so I had to wash out the gouache. And I'm stuck with working with acrylics on that piece, and I don't know when I will do that, but but yeah, I really like it. Like the flat look of gouache. It is like pastel looking, like. Hang on. I know what you mean by flat, the flat look. Gouache is completely matte, and so it's pretty easy to see shadings and shapes and texture. You are really like, it's so versatile. You can technically do realism with it, but I think it's not meant for that. I think it's more meant to be painterly, to have a bit more texture. There's a lot of like Ghibli inspired artwork done with gouache, like poster paint actually. They scan pretty well. I really like the gouache. I wish it wasn't as matte looking. I like the glossier finish for like acrylics, but yeah, I still like it too. And I feel like to me, the best rendering, like the best combo of medium, is using watercolors as a base, enhancing that a bit with like markers, for example, and then maybe some pencil work in some places, and then doing gouache or like the backgrounds or just things like that. It's a fragile combination of things because the gouache is going to be quite opaque on top, so after using gouache I can't really put back any kind of markers, for example. I haven't really tried that. I don't think the markers will work really well, but the pencils can still work on top. So I have bad memories of acrylic. Yeah, actually when I was in high school, hang on, I'm chewing stuff. I remember, yeah, when I was in high school I actually practiced with acrylics, but I did a lot of my work using markers, like alcohol markers and sometimes watercolors. But it was nice because we got to try different techniques. But in high school I studied for graphic design. I mainly used markers for quick rendering, some pencils sometimes, acrylics and watercolors. When I got to fine art school, we had also an intro to like pastel, like oil pastel, dry pastels, and more color theory stuff. I spent like 3 months on making charts with acrylic paints, discovered the wonders of cyan, magenta, and yellow, and that changed my entire world, using proper colors, you know, for primaries. And we spent a lot of time on, not necessarily the painting technique. I've used acrylics more for like color theory purposes and for like very clean rendering, for like monochromatic rendering. It's a pretty cheap paint. I mean, depends on the quality, but like for larger scale artwork I use a bit of watercolors, but for pretty big artwork I was like, there's no way in hell that I'm using, well, I didn't have gouache back then, but also I wasn't going to use my markers or my pencil on like pretty big canvases or like larger sheets of paper. So acrylics was the easiest way to render something because oil were taking too much time and it was pretty expensive. So that's why I used a lot of acrylics back in school, basically. After that I did a lot of, I do have a lot of paintings in the making that I completely stopped working on. I think once I'm like somewhat done with my upcoming projects, you know, maybe I can have like a retreat of some sort. I have a lot of things planned for the next couple of months, so I don't know when I will do that, but I have like a pretty big Halloween release and stuff like that, so I can't really take like weeks on painting, on finishing my paintings, my pretty large paintings, but maybe next, like in the winter or something, we'll see. But I do like acrylics in a way. They just take, it's not the same kind of brain power. You're gonna have to think quickly and make decisions and deal with them, because you can't really fix a lot of those, but you can always come on top if you don't like something. It's so you can build up acrylics. That's also what I still like it. And you can extend the drying time by using a bit more water, or just some sort of like medium that you can add on top to make it so it remains wet. But yeah, still not my favorite paint, that's for sure. Yeah, I do feel rushed also. That's why I prepared a lot of my colors in little pots. Technically, like similar as this, but in actual, like with a closed lid. But they don't really handle that well. They get pretty old. I think most of them are like dried out. So it's annoying because preparing the colors takes a lot of time, and by then it's almost already dry, so you can't really use them. Like, that's annoying. AF, like so annoying. So you kind of have to work in sections, I guess, but like I don't know. I haven't touched acrylics in like 2 years or something, so you're panicking, thinking it's going to dry too fast. Yeah, it is drying too fast all the time. It's a good thing that we can experiment with different tools and just figure out what we really like. For example, I tried pastels, like oil pastels and dry pastels, like chalks, and even pencil, like pastels in the pencil. I am so mesmerized, and I have so much admiration for people, artists who are using pastels, because you can do so many wonderful things with them. I'm like blown away by the talent, but I hate the medium so much. Every time I tried using it, it's messy, it's muddy, there's powder everywhere. I don't like how it looks. It is for scale. Regular banana. I can show this also for scale. Sylveon. And so back to like having different medium. I've tried almost everything, I think, and I had my, you know, foot. I stepped in digital art for like a couple of years. I still do it sometime, but with all the AI shebang and like the industry being so flooded, the industry being just flooded with AI rendering and all. Like if you go on Pinterest and you search for any kind of reference, unless it's a photo, specifically looking for a photo or like an actual landscape picture, if you're looking for any kind of artwork, 90% of it is AI, and it's all digital. Even the fake watercolors and all, a lot of those are digital. So whenever I search for reference, I do have some AI in my reference, but I also try my best to search for actual like painting or watercolors or like a proper picture of someone who was painting something. Is not really easy to find right now. It's everywhere. It's all over Etsy as well. I don't know if you have seen like this video that I saw like a couple, like 10 days ago or something, that the downfall of Etsy. A lot of creators are losing so much traffic and money because it's completely saturated with AI and resellers. Like it's becoming like AliExpress or like Alibaba. It's just completely insane. Any kind of thing, any kind of art that you're looking for, or like coloring books and things like that, it's just flooded with AI and things like made in China. And a lot of people are like, a lot of creators are just leaving Etsy because there's no way they can compete with that. And there's like drop shipping and big companies. There's no room left for small creators. I remember like a couple of times I received messages from customers on Etsy being like, why has nobody shipped my order? Where is your team? Like, what are they doing? Things like that. They kind of thought that I was like a big corporation, like that I was Amazon or something. I had to reply to the person and be like, girl, you're talking to the owner and the artist and the one who's doing all the stuff. I am a one woman only company. Like nobody is doing anything for me. I'm doing it all. I'm creating, I'm producing, I'm packaging, I'm shipping. Everything is owned and managed by me. So I was like, it's not Amazon or AliExpress. There's a lot of creators, and they made so shitty moves on Etsy. Seriously, like it's so annoying that I still have to rely on the platform because I don't have enough traffic on my other social media and all. Eventually and hopefully one day I could break free from Etsy, and maybe run my own store or something, but it's just a complete downfall, and it's also making a lot of people just losing their jobs because now AI can do it for them. So why would you hire a freelancer like a graphic designer or a painter if you can just have like a random AI thing just generating it for you? And speaking of AI, I'm playing devil's advocate here because it's so saturated and everyone is just being like, oh, I'm an artist using this. I have to reclaim that right. I am using AI to generate an alternate version of my concept. Any kind of idea that I have, any kind of sketch, any kind of anything that I have in my head, I will just do like maybe a basic sketch or figure out a way to render that, and I will just go on the AI and ask the generator to have some sort of basic visualizer for what I have in mind, and it's usually looking always the same because it's copying a specific style which is not mine, but it's a nice way to basically use the tool that is stealing from us back into my craft. I'm able to transform everything, to use that as a base and make an actual painting with it, and that's another reason why I'm so obsessed with traditional art and not digital art. You will never be able to replace an actual physical copy of a painting. Even if it's doing it really well, if it's still fake, it's generated, so it will never be like actually holding it and being, an actual painter, because AI will never be able to do that. So even though it's a weird time, I'm hopefully, things will turn around and it's going to die out in a way, and other mediums will just pop out. It kind of reminds me of a time where artists just lost their jobs because of photography. When it was invented, before photography, artists were doing a lot of portraits, rendering reality, and then they kind of lost their job because what was the point of doing portrait realistically, taking hours, if you could just take a photo? So basically they invented Impressionism. They completely changed the way they were seeing reality, and made it look purposely artistic looking, painterly looking, and it was taking another turn in response to photography being realistic. They made it different, and I feel like today, and like the same thing happened between traditional and digital art, and now it's like AI is just so, it's sad because if it wasn't making artists and like musicians and everyone, you know, if this wasn't at the detriment of us, like losing jobs, losing careers or gigs and things like that, I wouldn't mind that. If it was safely used, if you could opt out or opt in, if you were allowing or not allowing to be in the database, then I would, you know, agree on the use of that. It's just the legality is pretty off, and even like all social media now, as soon as you post something, you're basically opt in automatically in the algorithm and the app just collecting data to use for AI. And I'm like, if you want to do that with my work, then I will do exactly the same, because that's just the only way for me to remain in a way in control of what I'm putting out. And but it's pretty annoying to just, like, being an artist is hard enough, and now we have to compete with machines and all, and the saturated market. So I hope that eventually people will realize that you will never be able to replace us, really. But also some people will just be, that's it, you know, I'm sticking to this because it's cheaper, and you know. And people who are hiring AI in a way, or using AI, they're not, they will I mean, technically they were never your clients or customers. Those people will never pay 300 or 500 euros to hire any kind of freelance work, or like freelancer, or like buy an original piece. They don't have the money. They are cheap people who want cheap results fast, and those aren't going to purchase from any creator, basically. So I'm not being like losing money in a way because those people aren't already buying from me. But the issue is that because there's so many different people producing this kind of content, it's completely saturated the market. So everyone who wants to actually find creators and people who are not using AI, and they get completely lost in a pool of random generated content. And that's the issue. It's the fact that because there's so much AI, you can't discover actual creators, and then we lose jobs because we can't be seen by people, and that I don't like. There's not a lot of digital artists that I really like. I'm trying to figure out of someone. I mean, Loish is the only artist really that I still follow, her being like mainly digital content creator. A lot of the artists that I follow are more like traditional painter, or like sketching, like more sketchy kind of content vibe. What I hate the most is when digital art tries to replicate painterly stuff, like fake watercolors, fake oil, things like that. I don't like. If the actual digital content is used in a way that looks completely like VFX kind of rendering, for example, the AI content is really great at doing highly detailed 3D rendering for like creatures or abstract like fractal looking stuff. Nothing technically you could do that as a painter, like you could paint that, but it would be way longer and harder and will not look the same. It's kind of like when it's completely highly like photorealistic or looking like a 3D generated creature or something, like I don't have an example, but like crystal dragons or something. Sometimes they look like, okay, that would be pretty annoying to do as a traditional painting. And so that kind of content I like, that when it's stealing the style of an artist, don't like that. Used to work for a company that pretended to be small on Etsy. The thing is, Etsy, what they did really poorly is that they became a private company. So they were opened to the market with shareholders and I'm trying to find a word in English. Shares, basically. And so they have to have some sort of like financial stability. They have to provide lots of revenue so they can pay shareholders and all. And as soon as it became this kind of company, they basically sold their soul to the devil of capitalism. Some tattoo places are using AI. That's kind of shitty. Well, I'm not using. Well, the thing is, I don't know exactly where is the where did you cross the line, but I have been using AI to build some of my concepts, like for references, but I never use the generated content as it is. I transform it so much, and I don't use that to work on the actual painting, that in the end it doesn't look at all like my reference. So I will never actually use the produce of any AI app as it is, because I don't, well, it doesn't really look like the style that I want. And it looks unfinished and generic, so don't like that. Anyway. Banana! Oh, it's already 11 p.m. Oh, jeez. Time flies so quickly. Sorry for the weird sounds. Banana. Pechu, you want a banana? It's almost time for bed. Oh, what time is it for you? Technically, it's almost time for bed for me too. It's 11 p.m. but I think I'm gonna stream for like an hour, and then I'll go to bed too. I really want to finish the hair. Oh, you're in the UK? Okay. Oh, my paint is dry. Okay. Let's go back. Can you see? Yeah. Sorry. I like the red. I have a hiccup. There's more red on that side than on this side. I have to put back some of it here. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Here I'm just missing some of the orange tones. I also have to fix the, not fix it, but like the strands of just coming right here. I would like it to be, I don't know, not as messy in a way. There's a lot of work to do on this section. I have to make it darker and then lighter. Hi, I'm new follower. I really like your work. Do you stream on a regular basis? Did interview your video recently? Hi, Monique. Yeah, I have my mom's name. My mom's name is Monique too. You're the best. So do I stream? Well, first of all, welcome. Thank you for following my work. I'm really happy that you like it. Do I stream on a regular basis? I don't have a set schedule, but I'm trying to stream on Thursdays. I will try to stream every Thursday, but I might have to skip some here and there because I'm not going to be at my place during the first, like, basically in July, from like July 8th to the 20th, I'm not staying at my place, so I will be away. I might not be able to stream, but resuming in August, I should be able to stream every Thursday or something. And so yeah, I will try to have a schedule. I might stream like twice a month or something, but we'll see how that goes. And you binge watched my videos recently. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. just keep on doing that. It's helping a lot. Gotta go, guys, and show you the rest of the stream. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you for coming. Have a great rest of your day/night. Thank you. Bye. Let's go back to red tones. I'm just gonna slide it out so we can work on the bottom section. Décidément le bokeh. Nice, looking forward for the future streams, and your mother has a lovely name. Oh yeah, she has a lovely name. She actually doesn't really like her name. But it's a weird thing. We actually call her Mona instead of Monique. And it's a pretty fun thing we have with like the family and relatives. But people used to like call her random names, you know, when she was a kid. And so that's why she doesn't really like her name much, but I don't mind it. There's a lot of French names that ends with Nick. Dominique, Frédéric, Monique, Yannick. Well, it's not really French, but yeah, thank you so much for joining, Monique. If you can just if you follow the next streams, that would be amazing. I like the red tones. I'm still like, I think I'm gonna trim the bottom of this. I don't like it. I don't know. I have to make the decision to like figure out a way to, I mean, it's not just darker, it's that it's just like this random strip and it doesn't look cohesive. Like it doesn't look, it belongs here with the rest of the painting. So I need like a fresh eye on that. I'm not sure of like what I want to do. I have to remove the tape here before it's just taking too much. Okay. So I don't know, maybe it just lacks like some of the light back, or like more like a flower that I could bring back. But I might have to like scan the artwork or like just take a picture or something. Maybe I can just scan the artwork and figure out the way of like how it will look like without it, like fix the concept. Also what I need to clean like the lines, like how it's not looking bad, it's just that it's all at the same length. I need it to be slightly like maybe higher. I like this, but I wish it was maybe it's just too dark. That's just the color that is the issue. I don't know, but I might have to trim some of it. I mean, would it be this bad, seriously, if I just cut right here? I have no idea. What I would like to get actually, and what I like about this artwork is what I did in the top section. My background here. The background is pretty like wispy, and there's a lot of texture going on, a lot of different colors, and I like that part. And I don't have that in the bottom. Let me just like push you slightly. You see what hang on, I'm just doing like I'm casting a shadow, or freaking shadow. Hang on, I'm trying to not cast a shadow using my overhand. Okay, so this is how it looks. There's like a lot of wispiness. There's a lot of things going on in the background. I like the shape of that. And then this like really dark thing going on. I don't think it's really helping. It's almost like it doesn't belong here. If I remove that darkness, what I would like to have is actually the same texture as this right here. Hang on, I have to push you back. The same texture that I have right here would be interesting if it just came also in that area. If I were to find a way to incorporate that with lighter shades, like bring back some of the greens in here, it would make it slightly more cohesive. And then if it is lighter here, maybe I can have her top showing in a way, and fix the arm slightly because the arm isn't shaded properly. Maybe that would be slightly better, I think. Now, can I do that on here because it's pretty dark already? Yes, I can always make it lighter. Making it darker after that, that's a no-no. But I can bring back some of the light and like the turquoise and see where it leads me. But that will be maybe for tomorrow, because I would have to re-prepare all the colors, so I can't do that right now. But we're just gonna finish with the hair, maybe work on the arms or something. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, something is just off right here. I don't know. Something just doesn't click. I need to fix like the all the flowers stems. That is not done yet. Maybe I can just yeah, I think I'm gonna probably just take a picture and fix that on my computer, just to figure out a way to balance things out. And yeah, and I think that would be better. I almost feel like she's too cropped in a way. Like I would pretty much think it would be better if more of her body was showing, but that would mean just changing the scalings of all the, like, I think it's just too much grass being just like completely aligned. And if it was a bit messier and we have like longer strands of something, that would be better. But before I do like random things on top, I need to finish the hair, like finish just the shading of the hair, and and also in here, and then I can come back on top if I want to. I think I would choose a lighter version of the bottom, but yet fresh pair of eyes might help you. Yeah, no, it's completely too dark. This is not meant to remain this dark. It's not the color really that bothers me this much. It's just the fact that it's all in the same kind of like it is pretty much like a strip of grass, and I would like it more if it was a slightly less strip looking, I guess. Maybe this could come higher, like different kind of shapes, and then I can incorporate more of the background here and make it like swirl back here, things like that. But it's a lot of work to do this, and I would need like a different brush and all, so I don't know if I want to start that today. I think I'm gonna quickly finish the hair, not quickly, but like finish the hair, and we'll see for the rest tomorrow, because I'm tired and I need like you said, a fresh pair of eyes to figure out the decision for this. Just let's keep on working on the hair for now. I need more red tones here. It's drying so quickly. My palette is drying so quickly because it's pretty hot here. I don't like summer. I am getting hot so quickly. I am really sensitive to heat. So I mean, I didn't mind the coldness. Like, I really like cold weather actually, because you can always just like keep you warm, you know, with like a sweater or something. But when it's too hot, you can't cool down. You're gonna have to be like you're just naked and then you're still hot. So that's why I don't like the summer. I like the sun. I don't like hot weather. I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to like live in a mountain or something, so I can enjoy the sun without it being like extremely hot. That would be nice. It's best to bring the background forward there. Yes. I'm gonna head off to bed. I'll be tuning into more streams in the future. Thank you for coming, Pachu. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Good night. Sleep well, you know, rest is important, and I will see you in the next stream, maybe next Thursday. I think I can stream next Thursday. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye. I'm not going to stream forever myself. I will probably just quit around midnight because I am also quite tired, and I don't want to get up too late tomorrow because I have a lot of things tomorrow, and I have to do like some groceries. I have to practice my guitar playing because I have a show on Saturday, and I'm playing and singing at the shows with other people, but like, and I'm nowhere ready to perform. So I'm a bit scared about that, but we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking about the flowers. I think white would be best, so I'll just do that last. What else do we have to do? Here, I need clearly more of the red tones, just showing off. So yeah, I'm gonna stream until like midnight-ish, and then I'll just head off to bed. Like, I'm not super tired though. I just don't want to go to bed too late. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Okay, so now let's bring back a bit more light. I mean, I don't know. I think I want to mix this slightly more. There's too much contrast here. One of my paint is too dry already. I need to... Where are the brushes? I need to add water back to it. Much better. Okay, then I'm gonna work on highlights back everywhere. Gently. Hang on, I'm not completely in frame. Sorry. It's pretty big. And I'm adding highlights, and I'm also like adding random strands just to break from the chunky hair strands that I did. I would probably need like my tiniest brush to do so. But for now, this is working. I might switch to my smaller brush for like less touches for those highlights. But for now, let's just define that a bit more. This is the scary part. I have to be quite careful. Controlling every strand that I do. If I don't do it carefully, it's gonna be really messy. It's not a bad thing, but I want to maintain some sort of balance. A cinnamon roll. Oh, that's so good. It does look like a cinnamon roll. There's just the glazing isn't there, but yeah. Oh, now I want a cinnamon roll. It's a good thing that I don't have it because I would be kind of sick if I were to eat that today with my diabetes and all, but I made cinnamon rolls homemade twice. They turned out so nice. Followed like the taste what is it? I don't know the channel that did that, but they were so good. But it's so much sugar and butter and all, so it's like so heavy. Can't really eat that anymore. But it tastes really nice, really good. Really, really good. You know what I want? I want sushi. I love sushi so much. But it's so expensive here. It's insanely expensive here. I mean, it's pretty expensive. I think it's expensive everywhere besides Asia. But I will just like, I'm craving sushi so much. I could literally have sushi every day and like not get bored with it. I like it this much. And I used to hate sushi. I mean, I used to eat like salads and vegetables and like so many different things. Carrots, just I couldn't bear carrots. And now I'm craving salads. How is it even possible? How could you hate something and then just like be almost... I mean, I went from hating salads to actually craving salads. There's something is wrong with me. Anyways, we went from a cinnamon roll to a salad because that's me. Oh, hang on. It's not as light as I thought it would be. I need this color, but this I need to add back some water to it. Reactivating the colors. I'm getting tired. I think I'm gonna exit soon. And I'm still hungry also. I think I need to eat something else, but I don't know. I don't really know why. Not why. I just don't know what. Hang on. I'm just gonna quickly come on top right here. I want to finish working on this top section. That needs a bit more highlights because I don't have as much there. Do I need this orange or do I need... No, I need the yellowish color here. Making just like a bit more chunky highlights. And the lightest shade so I can have the same blend as this. There's like very chunky, almost white highlights. I need to bring that everywhere. Just carefully select where it shows, so you can have that really high contrast. Me like it. I like it. Oh, hang on. I need to use the yellow first. I feel like this would look really nice as a diamond painting for some reason, because there's a lot of like high contrast and specific colors. I don't know, there's just something about it. It makes me want to do it as a diamond painting. So hopefully this one will be selected. But if it's voted, it would be a diamond painting, like, I don't know, in a year or something. As a kid, I would eat our... sorry, I'm pretty tired. As a kid, I would eat our neighbor's carrots from the garden and put the end bit with the leaves back, so they wouldn't know until they think. Oh, that's evil. That's. I never did. I mean, I used to go with my grandma in her garden, but I've never actually like stole vegetables and just put them back in because, well, first of all, I didn't like vegetables. I was eating a lot of the fruits though. She had like a plum tree with very thick purple plums. They were so good, so like sugary and a lot of juices, and like they, in the summer there was just like something about it, just like picking out a pretty ripe fruit at the end of the day after like a very sunny hot day. Things were pretty chilly and you get just like still warm fruit, and then it cools down and it's so much sugar and so good. Oh, I really, those were really happy memories. It's a sad thing that I'm pretty sure that the garden is just like not a garden anymore. I haven't been there in 15 years. I should just check how things are going there, because the land was sold after after my grandmother passed away. But yeah, I wasn't stealing vegetables. I would steal other things. I mean, that's not steal, but like you can't put a fruit back. But like picking out carrots and then putting them back in, it's so funny. I mean, they probably thought that rabbits or like any kind of pests just like ate that from like under. That's a funny one. You overdo it so easy with highlights. Yeah, it's a tricky situation because you can easily just get too much contrast or get it too polished in a way. And even then, as I'm looking at it, I really like the top section right here. It's pretty interesting. It's just like almost like an anime contrast looking, like HDR kind of deal. I'm not too much of a fan here. I feel like there's just not enough. There's too much contrast basically. There's like a lot of light and dark. I'm liking some medium. I would probably need to shade a bit more in some places. I might do that eventually. But I still like, I really like this part. And I don't mind the high contrast and details because it looks like well blended with the rest of the piece. So, but it just adds a lot of work. I've never spent this much time on hair ever. So, but it's pretty, yeah, easy to overdo it, for sure. Okay, let's just finish the highlights and then I'll just head off. I mean, not directly to bed, but soon. So I need the clearest, lightest one. I need to fix like some of the random like small strands here, but I will do with my tiny brush, not this one. With this bigger one, I'm gonna just focus on that section. Now that I completed the top, we're just gonna go back to here. I still need to be careful. I don't need tons of highlights here. I just need to bring back some in some places where the light will hit basically. And then just let the rest be. But I also need like to make it look like this section in a way. So to do that, I do have to bring back a lot of the lights, just because it would look just too different if I didn't do that. So I might have to cover some of my darker spots just to have a bit more place, I guess, just more room for actual highlights. If I don't have the room for that, I'm gonna have like very chunky highlights next to a like red strand, which then will create more contrast and too much, like I did here, for example, which is not a bad thing, but it's not what I want on that specific section. This is a bit too light. Hang on. I'm gonna do like an in-between highlights. Not as whitish. I'm trying to replicate some of the shading that I did on the other side. Like here. I'm sorry. Can't really see that. Here it's blending with the background. So I'm trying to bring back that here. It's a little bit more red on this side, so I don't know if I'm adding more darkness on this or just lighter here. I feel like the easiest way to do things so it looks similar to the other side is just to add back some of like the orange tones. It's not necessarily orange tones that I need, it's more of like this. This is too pink. I need like a deep, like almost like a like a skin tone-ish looking color, but I don't think I have it right here per se. I don't know where it is. Maybe just like some orange tones would be better. I don't need orange tones. I mean, technically I do, but it also just needs to be lighter. So I think it's this shade that needs to be brought back. So there's less red and a bit more orange tones. It's pretty hard to do what I did here, but I'm coming to it in a way. It just needs to be lighter. I think I went a little bit overboard with the red tones. Just gonna bring back some of those mid-tones. So I can mute that out, the reds. Yeah, that's a lot better actually. I'm just doing this so I can match the shading that I did on the other side, where it's a bit more blended. It doesn't have this much red, so I have to bring back some of those chunkier, like warmer orange tones. It looks better that way. You still need a bit more. I think there's a bit too much red still. I like the red popping in the dark spots, but I need a bit more orange and yellow. Not yellow, but like orange copper tones, not as red. There's so much paint, so much different layers. Plum is such an underrated fruit. I love them. Plum is amazing. I used to really, really love plums. Now they tend to be a bit too sugary for me. With my type 2 diabetes, there's a lot of different fruits that I can have, but they don't feel or taste good to me because there's just too much sugar. So I can't really have a lot of those. Plums are like grapes are typically just too much sugar for me. Cherries, I do love them, but I don't really digest them really well. But plums are amazing. Oh, hi MGP27. Hello, anyone still here? Yep, I am still here. Not for too long. I just want to finish the hair and then I'll just sign off because I'm really tired. Looks wonderful, Emily. I wish I had gotten home in time, but sitting in the car will not do it. Have a lovely time completing this beautiful picture. Thank you so much for checking in. I know it's pretty early if you live in the States, so yeah. I'm almost done with the hair, I think. I might just finish that tomorrow because I need some rest. What else? No, I think I'm gonna, even for the highlights, I'm still just gonna try to complete the tiny highlights that I have right here. Just gonna quickly move and finish that, and I'll go to bed. I'm gonna have to be a bit closer to my drawing so I know what I'm doing. Got to be pretty careful. This needs much more water. Gonna quickly work on the little strands here. I should probably stop. I'm getting tired. It's too late. Way too late. Hang on, let me just like get the camera slightly away from the drawing so you can see a bit more of it. I need just to adjust the tripod. It's worse. I'm just gonna hold it. It's fine. Anyways, you can see the feet. That's it. For I mean, I should just. Why do you do weird stuff when I don't want you to be weird? Okay. Doesn't really work. I'm trying to get a proper angle, but yeah, this is how it looks in the bottom. You already see that. You already saw that, and this is the top. I'm pretty much done with the hair. Hang on, I'm just gonna put. I mean, it's completely useless to just. I need to. Sorry, it's really bad. I shouldn't do this. Why? It's a weird angle. Okay, I'm not moving. Anyway, I think that's it. I don't know how to put back the camera where it used to, where it was. I think I'm done for tonight. This is how it looks. Pretty great progress on the hair. I'm happy with it. I still have to do all the details on the butterflies here and this one, and I have one also in the top. Still have this. I have this flower left to do, and then all the bottom, and technically the arms. So yeah, there's still a lot of work. Hang on, I'm trying to put you back in a position that is not too weird. It is. But yeah, this is done for tonight. It's quite late. Thank you so much for joining, you guys. I really appreciate that. I hope that you had a nice time. And this surely was great for me. It's nice because I'm able to really make progress and exchange with you. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm so happy that I'm able to stream again. I hope that in the next couple of streams we're gonna have more people. So, but yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here and commenting and all. And yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Have a lovely rest of your day or night or good night. I'm gonna go to bed because it's midnight here and I'm pretty tired. But I'll see you probably next Thursday for another stream. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know what's in store yet for that stream. Not this, because this is going to be finished by then, hopefully. But we'll see how that goes. And I will definitely also, well, I'm not making a video for YouTube. This one is the video for this week. But I might have like another video coming up next week. We'll see how that goes. Maybe like a challenge of some sort. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thank you. And thank you, Monique. Yes, I'm excited and stressed out, but I think it's gonna be okay for the guitar and like the show this weekend. So yeah, thank you for the stream. This came out beautifully. Thank you. I'm doing well. Stay comfortable. Stay safe and continue to believe in yourself. Thank you, MGP. Thank you so much. I'm still here. You know, I'm still hustling and trying my best and figure out a way to balance, you know, my health physically and mentally. And I'm okay. You know. I'm figuring out solutions, and I'll get there. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye guys. Mwah! Good night.